All right, hold on. I'm still sharing that shit. I'm sending it to people individually.
Yeah, me too. I want it all. Brand new socks and drawers and a bitch toe bench and see all
All right, we ready?
I'm ready to rock.
All right.
In a sec.
All right, welcome to InnerSect. It's gonna be your podcast with your boy Jizzle,
What up?
and your boy Jay. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be diving into the mind, covering topics that we're gonna be basically expressing how men feel about a lot of the common topics going on in the world today. So with that being said, we're gonna start off. Basically, we're gonna go over should the WNBA be canceled? What you think, Jizzle?
No, I don't think they should be canceled.
So what do you think they could do to improve their league? Do you think it's something they can do to improve their league?
I mean, yeah, I feel like it's always room for improvement. But I mean, I feel like women basketball getting more, it's rising, it's getting more intense than men now. I mean,
Is it
college, yes, but soon these college women is going to be going to the NBA. So I feel like it's about to be.
Are they though?
You said what?
Are they? That's not
A
what I'm
select
hearing.
few, not all of them, but a select few.
I'm hearing they ain't trying to come to the WNBA no more.
So you hearing they not?
Yeah.
Why is that?
The league sucks.
I don't know that bankroll, that money, right? They going.
What money though?
They
all complaining about the money.
I mean, yeah, but I still feel like they'll go. I feel like it's a select few that'll go. Not all of them though. But overall, I don't feel like it should be canceled. Because we need WNBA. We need women basketball.
All right, so I just want to put a point out there to you. In fact, what's something about the NBA that makes you watch it?
WNBA or NBA?
The regular NBA. Like, what's a feature of the game that when you turn on the game, you expect to see this happen in the game multiple times every game?
For like, there's just the competitive nature. I like niggas talking shit to one another. I like to see, I like.
But you can't hear that for real. Like most of the time, you can't hear that though. Like
you can't hear it, but you can see the body language. You can see the body language, the aggressiveness. I just like to see them go at it.
So let me rephrase that question. What's one of the hypest things that you can do on the floor? Like what's guaranteed to get the crowd hype every time?
Making somebody fall, shaking them.
But that don't happen frequent enough.
Shaking them.
Something that happened that we expect to see. Okay, all right, dunking, right? Dunking. So, did you know in the WNBA, there's only ever been like 40 total dunks in
Right.
history, and most of them are from Brittany Griner.
Right. I definitely know
So,
that.
I mean, there are some solutions that NBA players have pitched to the women, and they don't want to do it, like lowering the goal. Do you feel like? Do you feel like if they lowered the goal, you would watch less because they lowered the goal for the WNBA players?
No, they lowered the goal, probably more dunks, so it'll be more intense.
They don't want to lower the goal. Um, did you know that the average attendance for a WNBA game is 6,600? So 6,600 and like approximately 15 people, like per game.
No, I ain't that something I ain't know right there.
While
I'm
the
gonna keep it
average,
real with you. I ain't watched no WNBA game in a long time.
and
I don't watch
why is
women.
that, Jizzle? Why don't you watch the WNBA games?
It ain't intense as NBA.
All right,
And look.
my point.
It ain't as intense. But college women,
College is intense though, but that's different.
college is intense.
But we talking about the WNBA.
Yeah, right. I ain't watching the
So
WNBA game in a minute.
so the NBA has an average attendance of 18,076 people.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
about
3 times more people.
right.
So, like a big thing with WNBA players right now, they want an equal percentage share of the revenue that comes into the league. But if the revenue is not the same as the NBA, they can't get the same percentage because there's expenses for the league to
Right.
run their, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, we've given them constructive criticism on how to improve the league, and it's really like simple. Just lower the goal because I mean, y'all start dunking on each other, we're gonna watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's not gonna watch? Who's not gonna watch women dunk on each other? Like, I feel like that might be more fun to watch than watching niggas do it. We've been watching that for years. We ain't seeing women dunk on each other.
Seeing a woman dunk way better than a man.
Like, people watch the women's UFC. You know what I'm saying? People watch women fight, but we don't watch them. We don't watch them hoop though. You know what I'm saying? So, like, is there? Do you feel like their ability to accept or their inability to accept constructive criticism and make changes is directly related to the issue with women in modern society?
Yes. Yes, because you had to change to be better. So if you want to be better, you got to critique what you already have going on. I feel like, acceptance is hard. So with them stats that you just gave compared to the NBA, we say the NBA have it's 3 more times people coming to the games. It's like
Exactly.
they got to look at that and realize them numbers low. So if the numbers low, we need to change what's going on. You change the product to bring the consumers in.
Exactly.
You can't just say, oh, people just not coming to the game or they just not tuning in. You got to look at the whole league you got to look at the league as a whole and see why and critique things that's going in. So I would say, yeah, it's aligned to like, the what's going on in society with the current mindset of people not looking at what the problem is and like having self-acceptance.
So
and before you go on, a lot of WNBA players, they need to get together and go against the grain for real. Because if they come together and complain, things going to change.
But they're already coming together and complaining about the wages, and nothing's changing because they're not willing to do what they need to do to change it.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't to be real, I ain't even know they was coming together. Like I said, I ain't even looked at no WNBA in a minute.
So Brittany Griner, arguably like one of the most popular WNBA players of all time, maybe behind Candace Parker. Do you feel like her ability to dunk is directly related to her popularity and fame as a professional athlete?
Nah, because I feel like nah, because I feel like her ability to dunk and do everything that she do, that come from her working hard. That come from her, being her athleticism. I don't feel like it got nothing to do with like fame or her name being big.
So you feel
Now,
like even if she couldn't dunk, if she couldn't make those headline plays, you feel like she still would be just as famous as a
no,
professional athlete.
no.
So it is directly related.
Hold up. The question was: Is ask the question
Is,
again.
is her ability to dunk directly related to her popularity and fame as a professional athlete?
Okay, I misunderstood the question. Yeah, because if she wasn't able to do the things that if she wasn't able to do the things that she doing, her name wouldn't be as big. So yeah,
So do you think if somebody else had the situation she had a couple years back where she got it was Russia, right?
yeah, I think so.
Where she was locked up in Russia. Do you feel like they would have got as much um publicity behind the situation?
You said if it was somebody else,
Yeah.
no. Once you were, I feel like once your name is big and whatever you do, like the larger your name, the more publicity. But if you are nobody or your name don't have much of an impact, ain't nobody really gonna care like that. Because being that when you a star, everything you do, they're gonna take it to another level.
That's a fact.
So
That's a
as
fact.
an individual, as just anybody in general, when your name ring, I feel like it come with pros and it come with cons. The pros gonna be large, the pros gonna be crazy, and the cons gonna be crazy, in my opinion.
So I want to throw out another fact.
Give me the facts, my
Another
boy. Give
thing
me
that
the facts.
happened in the WNBA. So the former coach of the Connecticut Suns, Kurt Miller, he was fined 10 bands because he told a WNBA player, Liz Cambage, not to complain about a foul because she weighs 300 pounds. So he was
Yeah.
fined for that statement. Now, in reality, she weighed 220 pounds. So his comments were an exaggeration, but whatever. The average weight of a WNBA player is 155 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So essentially, what he was saying is, you're heavy as hell. Like, don't be complaining because they're getting a little rougher with you because you weigh a lot more than them. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I think a couple people that you compare this to would be like Shaq or LeBron, because Bron always complaining about a foul, but I guess he don't always realize that he is bigger and faster than the majority of them. So there's got to be some type of like consideration taken
Yeah,
in.
he gotta stand in the way of his big ass. Yeah.
Exactly. But the main thing is no one was ever fined for making comments about how much they weigh or what they felt. You know what I'm saying? Like, she also called Kurt Miller Little Sirman, and she didn't receive any penalties. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's that shit that society needs to cut out. Like, if we can't talk about them, they shouldn't be able to talk about us and belittle us. So I
Right.
feel like she should have been fined $10,000 as well. You know what I'm saying? And another side note about her, she left the WNBA to do OnlyFans. Like,
Well, I ain't know
just
that.
like throw that out there. You know what I'm saying? Um, so that's kind of like just tying back into what I was saying about them not being happy with the pay. Like, why would you leave the WNBA to go do OnlyFans? They must
Right.
really not be paying y'all shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And honestly, they can't pay y'all shit unless they're making a ton of money. So that's important to throw out there. Um, so on to the next question, same topic. Um, do you feel like these women are happy?
Nah. Not if you're not getting paid the amount you feel like you worth. Oh, you said next topic is we still
Well,
talking
we
about the
on the same topic, but it's a question underneath the topic.
Nah, I don't. Nah, because if you feel like you worth more and you ain't getting paid for it, yeah, you wouldn't be happy.
So
Or not even just uh speaking money though. If you a WNBA player and nobody coming to the games and the things y'all doing not making headlines, nah, because they still got to go to practice. They still, it's a lot of things that they got to do. And when you working hard, you're not getting acknowledged for it. Nah, I don't feel like they're happy.
I feel like it's deeper than that. So it's important to note, like WNBA players, they play for a pretty long period of time. So it's kind of obvious that they're not going to be having children or creating families because they don't have time for that. They have to be ready for each season. So
Right.
they're not having children or creating families. They have an extremely high percentage of lesbians in the league. So they don't even like guys like that. And they complain about everything that they chose for themselves. Like, so, I feel like going into the WNBA would have been similar to going to college and picking a job field. You know what I'm saying? Like, before you get into your job field, they tell you the stats about the job field, like what the average salary is, what the starting salary is, how long it takes you to retire, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so before they got in the WNBA, these are things that they already would have known. And I'm pretty sure that they would have got even more detail about the WNBA and the process of living in the WNBA over a college student because they're agents who have worked with many other college students. I mean, with many other WNBA players are going to go into detail about that as opposed to, uh, a college student advisor who has to deal with thousands of different students or hundreds of different students every single semester and doesn't have time to spend an hour or two with each student going over what their life is going to be like. Why do you think that they still choose to go into the WNBA when there are other leagues and other options for them in life?
Passion. I feel like it's passion because despite all the cons that come with it, they love to play the sport. So, like I just said, they might not be happy with everything that's going on, like people coming to the games, the pay and all that. But I feel like it's a burning desire in them to still want to play, like for the
Oh
WNBA.
shit. Hold on, my cousin is commenting. I didn't even see this. Let me see what she said. Kiana, I'm gonna have to research the whole Caitlin Clark thing. I mean, it's tall, so maybe they should. It's not a broadcast match. Because they're not gonna broadcast it as much if people aren't gonna watch it. You know what I'm saying? So if they started dunking more, because you funny as hell, it's her height and her masculinity. That's why she's popular to you. They only let her out because of a trade. She called her a man. So, like, one of the things I had said underneath this topic is, should we allow? Like, this is more so like a constructive thing for the WNBA to maybe help their viewership. Maybe we should allow transgenders in their sport if they don't want to lower the rim. Like
You
Shawana
said maybe they
Manuel. Like,
should.
yeah, maybe they should.
Hell
So I'm about to go through some things. First, I'm going to define what a transgender is. So the definition of transgender is denoting or relating to a person whose gender identity does not correspond with the sex registered for them at birth. So a couple questions I had to ask are: what can a transgender woman do that a typical woman cannot in respect to the WNBA? You got any answers, Jill?
Shit, I guess dunk.
All right. So higher athleticism,
Damn.
increased dunking, increased speed, and better performance. And when I say performance, I mean showmanship. So they can put on a better show for the audience. And I also had to ask, from a morality perspective, why should we allow transgender women to partake in a women's sport? And I pulled up some facts from socialtrends.org, and they had put up a pie chart, and it basically illustrated that 64% of people, men and women, don't agree. Like, we don't agree that trans people should be discriminated against. Correct? Like, most people don't. Like, they feel like there should be laws or policies in place that would protect them from discrimination in jobs, which is the WNBA, housing, and public spaces. So their league is failing, and the women within the league are unhappy with the wages. The wages that the league can pay is directly correlated with the league's sales performance. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't want to make changes like lowering the rim, then you're going to have to make other changes. And I'm not saying that I want transgenders to enter. It's just something that I was thinking could be a solution, because y'all don't want to lower the rim.
It's over. I don't think they should.
They're not going to go with lowering the rim. They probably not going to say they don't want transgenders in either. So this is why I'm asking the question, you know, should the WNBA just be canceled altogether? Because I'm going to go to something else. I'm going to tie this in. So is this a prime example of how most women in modern society deserve less than they've been given?
You said is this an example that what?
Is this an example of how most women in modern society deserve less than they've already been given?
Yeah, in a way.
So did you know that NBA players subsidize their league?
No, I didn't know that.
Did you know that they're telling NBA players that they should send them more money? And their league is failing?
Hell no, I ain't know none of this, honestly.
Do you think that they realize that the wages that they already receive wouldn't be possible if the NBA players didn't send money to their league every season?
I think they know that.
So why do they continue to ask for more money even though they know that their product is failing?
What
is them having more money gonna do to make the product better?
I mean, I feel like you can tie that in just with people in general. Like, everybody want more money, but they don't want to do what it takes to get the money. You get what I'm saying? It's like we want more, but we don't want to change what's going on. Because everybody want more money. It's people out here in the world that they want more money, but they wake up every day and do the same thing, and they keep saying, "I want more money," but they don't make a change with what they got going on to make the money. So I just feel like you could just tie that into like human nature, wanting more but not doing more, or not changing what you already got going on.
Facts. So a post I saw on Facebook yesterday, just a side note real quick. This girl, she was on the timeline, and she was basically like, should we start working 6-hour days? And she was like, in fact, she wasn't saying should we, she was saying that we should start working 6-hour days. And she was like, and she bet nothing would change. She was like, barely anything would change if we went to a 6-hour day instead of an 8-hour work day.
Right.
And I was like, nah, like, why would we work less when we already don't have enough time as it is, and our country's already lazy?
I feel like if it's a 6-hour workday, like you said, ain't much gonna change.
She said that, not me.
She said ain't much gonna change.
She said nothing's gonna change. So you don't feel like, so you feel like if we went to a 6-hour workday, right? Like, let's just use video game development for example. So they work 8-hour work days for the most part. I'm pretty sure they do work from home too after. But if you got an 8-hour work day, right, and you drop down to 6 hours, you've essentially extended all your projects out 25%. Like really, it might be like 33%. Like it, the amount of time it's gonna take for you to put out your products is gonna be much longer. Meaning
Right.
you can't make as much money.
I feel like it depends on like what she said. It depends on the occupation. When she said that not much is gonna change, what she referring to, like the
She's
person
saying
life in
nothing.
general.
She's saying nothing in the world is gonna change. Like the person's life still ain't gonna change much.
Oh
Like
no, a lot gonna change in the
what's
world. I thought she was basing it on like the individual.
nah, I feel like the individual's life is not gonna change much.
No, the
You know
individual
what I'm
life is
saying?
not gonna change, but yeah, a lot of
And
things
if,
gonna change in this world.
and honestly, the individual's life will change by a lot because
Because we still
it's
consumers.
so that's who. But so if we work, if somebody's salary is based on them working 8 hours a day, 200 and I think 48 days a year, then when you do the numbers, if you drop down to 6, you get paid less. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you trade in 2 hours to be with your family, like for a little, like 2 hours more a day. You know what I'm saying? Like in real life, you know what I'm saying? Your kids don't need you around 24/7. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Hell, honestly, your kids don't even want you around 24/7.
Exactly.
Like, if anything, that shit is just more of a selfish comment. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna take away the productivity of the nation just to be with your family a couple more hours out the day. But them couple hours ain't really making a difference in y'all relationship. You know what I'm saying? Over time, yeah, you will have like over time it'll add up. But at the same time, when it comes to relationships and shit, all that stuff is not based on necessarily how many hours out the day that you have to spend with them. It's
Nah, because if you wanted to work, you're gonna make it work. Because
exactly
everybody, we've been having 8-hour work days since for years. It's like,
forever.
yeah, forever. So it's like you wanted to work, it's gonna work. But 6 hours opposed to 8 hours is gonna change a lot of stuff that's going on out here. Like as far as like you said, like video game, there's a whole bunch of shit. So when it comes to romance and family, I don't know. It depends on the person though, because some people gonna use them extra 2 hours to bullshit or do the same thing that they would normally do when they get off
Exactly.
after 8 hours. So I feel
Exactly.
like if you have less hours, a person gonna do what they normally been doing. Like unless they got the mentality of I got 2 more extra hours to work on my craft or to go to the gym or to spend with family members. But most people that I ain't gonna lie, I feel like most people that want less work don't really want to do much. You know what I'm saying? Because
Hell
if
yeah.
you want less hours, you want less money.
Exactly.
If you want less hours, you want less bread. So I feel like me, I would want more hours. Give me them hours, man.
Hey, if you in the stream, sub to the channel.
Give me them hours. I need it.
Nah, facts though. Cause like, in all honesty, who don't want more money, right?
Like
You
we
know what
just
I'm
said
saying?
about WNBA, everybody want more money, but less work or less
Exactly.
criticism or
Like
less.
it's some people saying they want 10 hours a day, not 6 or not 8. You know what I'm saying? Some people want to make more money every day than what they already making. Like, and I just feel like as a nation, we got to think about the cause and effect of the things that we do.
And
And
I also feel like that's the beauty of life, though. The beauty of life is figuring this shit out with tough times. With if you feel like 8 hours is too much and you don't have much time outside of your 8 hour shift, I feel like that's the beauty of life. Figure it out. Like, and also people that work 8 hour shifts, and let's just say somebody like we talking about, somebody in it for the money, or you may not love what you do, you just want the bread. Figure out how to make the money without working 8 hours or without going to work at all. You know what I'm saying? Learn something new. You got stocks. You could wash cars. You can have an 8 hour shift. You work your job. You could wash cars, and it start off as a slow business. You pick up business as time go on. Now you got so much clientele washing cars, you don't have to work the 8 hours no more at a job that you may not like, and you can critique your own schedule.
facts.
I'm only washing cars between 8 and 3.
Facts.
You can do what you want to do. So I feel like,
But you know, most people ain't trying to start their own shit because they don't have the mindset or the willpower.
yeah, but that tie into, I ain't gonna lie, I think that tie into what society trying to do to us. They really. I had a conversation with my girl about this. From kindergarten through 12th grade, and yeah, even after 12th grade, when you go to college, we all know that they trying to make you a worker. They kind of want you to be slow. They don't want you to think outside of the box. So
Facts.
they don't want you to think outside of the box. So you will have a normal life, or you won't think outside of your job. If your job tell you be there at 7, you're gonna get off at 4. We're gonna pay you every 2 weeks on this Friday. You can't have this many write-ups in 1 month. You can't do this. You have to wear this. However, we don't think about what we could do for ourselves outside of the job. Like, all right, if I want to go to the gym, lose weight, all right, I'm gonna be to the gym at 6 every morning. I ain't gonna eat this, but I am. You get what I'm saying? It's like we don't do it for ourselves, but they training us to be how they want us to be. Because if you had your own mind and had your own business, a lot of these other businesses gonna fail because they're gonna have no employees. So they trying to like mentally fuck you into doing what they want you to do. And even in the school system, they tell you, all right, you gonna make, if you make straight A's, A, B honor roll, whatever the case may be, you're gonna be successful. That's a lie. You get into this world and you feel like you A, B honor roll, you made Dean's List, you may not have no social skills, you may not have no problem solving skills, you may not, you get what I'm saying? It's certain skills you don't have to get the money or to be your own boss. So that's why I feel like you got so many people out here that's kind of like confused, stressed, and worried. It's like, damn, they told me to make good grades and I was going to be good. Now I can't find a lover. I can't find no friends. I can't. It's fucked up. Like they train us.
So we got a question. So Kiana asked, do you feel a secretary who makes appointments and sits at her desk should be paid more than a woman who works in construction and builds houses, or a woman who stands on her feet all day at a plant?
It depends on. I feel like it depends on the value. I don't know. I would say the value of the job. Like, I mean, I don't know. Construction a little more dangerous.
I was gonna say, to me, I would probably say overall, yeah, the construction worker should be paid more, like generally speaking. But I do think there are some instances where there are secretaries who manage things and assistants who handle certain tasks that are very high level, and the person that they're assisting or working for, or the company that they're the secretary of, um, it's major, and it might
Right.
make more of a financial impact on the country and society than just one person doing a construction job.
Yeah.
So I would say, for the most part, yeah, the construction workers should get paid more, but there are going to be instances where the secretary is going to be actually doing some shit that is more meaningful.
Yeah. I
So
feel
what's the
that.
point of getting a degree at a 4-year college?
Jay, let me close this door real quick. Let me close this door.
All right. So what's the point in getting a degree at a 4-year college if these jobs still want you to have 2 to 4 years experience to get a job in the field your degree is in? All right, hold on. I'm gonna ask when Jizzle get back. All right. So Kiana asked, so what's the point in getting a degree at a 4-year college if these jobs still want you to have 2 to 4 years experience to get a job in the field your degree is in?
That's the point.
Um,
They,
so
they
yeah,
Go ahead, Jay.
so like honestly, college is just college is more so like you're showing the employer that you can show up to work on a consistent basis. Like, because you can bullshit your way through college. Like literally,
Definitely.
you can bullshit your way through and you can still have a GPA above 3. Um, so they're not fooled by that anymore. It's gonna be more so like they're looking at your background. And a lot of the times, like if you even like so some jobs like in social work, for example, you have to have degrees, accreditations, and all types of stuff because they don't
Masters.
want you just exactly because you're going to be working with their client. You're going to be working with a client directly, telling them information. So like say for example, you work with um children who need extra assistance, and this could be any type of assistance. Like if you work directly with them, or a family who needs direct assistance, you have to be able to go in, talk to them, see what their problem is, give them solutions.
Right.
um, and you know they don't want you telling people shit that is just coming out your ass because that's what you feel like is a good idea. um, in a field like IT, you really don't need a degree. Like in IT, cybersecurity, engineering, you do need a degree, but you don't sometimes. It really just depends. So like if you go to any major company, you're gonna find people on the job who doesn't have a degree, and you're gonna find people who do have a degree. Now the majority will have degrees, but if your experience and your knowledge can be demonstrated on a resume, they're gonna call you back before that person with no experience and the degree. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So they want people who know what they're doing. And the reason why you don't need a degree in a field like IT or in the tech field is because most of the time you're working with a team. So you're not working with the client or the customer directly a lot of the time. When those entry level starting positions, you're working with a team. So you're going to have assistants. It's people that are going to be there to guide you and help you do what you're supposed to do. Um, and that's just the difference between tech and social work. And social work, you're kind of on your own. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. Um,
Hey, Jay, let me say this.
what up?
Also, too, with a degree, well, without a degree, if you can show that you can do more than people with a degree and you can get the job done, they don't give a fuck about no degree
Exactly.
because they need the job done. So if your ability can exceed what's on the next person's resume or they paperwork, it's like they're gonna pay you what you want and they're gonna keep you
Facts.
with no degree.
Nah, that's a fact. So experience is always more valuable to an employer than a degree. Like I feel like college is like you do have an opportunity when you go to college to get experience, but it's up to the student to do that. Like
Right.
so there's always job fairs, internships. Those internships are oftentimes not paid, but it's worth it because you're getting experience on your resume. And there's always like little clubs and programs within every major that you can join in. And whenever you get in those clubs and programs, that's how you really are getting the experience. So for example, in my major, they had like a robotics program that was starting up because, you know, AI and coding was a big thing 10 years ago, and it's even a bigger thing now. Um, but if you would have been in that program, going to the program 4 hours a day or hour a day, you know, you would have had projects that you worked on that you could put on your resume. You'd have had plenty of
Right.
things that you could show an employer. Hey, I know that I just have my degree. I've never had a job, but I've done this. You know what I'm saying? And that's the main thing that you want to do.
Right. Also, well, her question was, why go to why go to college if what was the exact question again?
Um, what's the point in getting a degree at a 4 year college if these jobs still want you to have 2 to 4 years experience to get a job in the field that your degree is in?
I got
And honestly, okay, so I'm gonna answer that question in another light. So the degree does give you a foundation of knowledge, and you can't really substitute that. I mean, you can, but a lot of the time you're not gonna just be able to substitute that. So when you go to a 4 year, and I'm gonna answer your question too, Taish. When you go to a 4 year university and you're in a program, typically that program is going to streamline everything that you need to know to have the knowledge that you need to know to get into the field. And when you're in those courses, your teacher should be showing you things that you need to do on the side of school to make you successful before you graduate, honestly, because a truly successful college student is going to have a job before they even finish their senior year. And you're going to have that if you follow your professor's instructions. Me, I didn't. I still was able to get into my field at some
me
point, but
neither.
um, I mean, if you know me, you know what I was doing. So, like, I didn't really see the need to do that because I already made money. But everybody doesn't have that option. So, like, I think it's kind of important to let college students know that even though college is not the only avenue that you can go down, it is very important. And the experience that you get from being in college and being around people is going to be more valuable than the job knowledge because regardless
Right.
of what job that you have, it's all gonna boil down to you interacting with people.
Yeah,
And
your
that's
social
gonna be your
skills, your
most
networking.
important, yeah, that's gonna be your most important skill is
Yeah,
networking with people,
networking.
understanding people. So Taisha asked, did Trump pass a bill that if you have more experience and skill, you can get the job over someone who has a degree? Honestly, I never heard of that, but
I don't know. I ain't big in politics.
honestly, they've been doing that since before Trump was ever even president. So, like, you've never had to necessarily have a degree to get into a field other than fields like social work. Social work, you
And
have
that
to
was my
have certain
major.
things.
But
So,
I feel like also too,
and
when it
law,
comes
let
to
me say law too.
you said what?
And law, you gotta have
Yeah, yeah, hell
you
yeah,
gotta
with
have
law.
certifications and stuff in law. But
Also too,
yeah,
college is a college is a business. So without people going, it's like the business gonna fail. So no matter what occupation you want to go, no matter what occupation you want to go towards, I feel like every college, every college is a business, but it all like tie into one another. Like high schools tie into colleges, colleges tie into the careers. It's kind of like they all need one another to excel. Like it, like And this just came to my mind. Like that's crazy. They all need one another. Like they need
Facts.
people. They need to recruit from high school.
Facts.
All right,
It's like what I was saying, you know, like it streamlines it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, so it's like employers want the reason why you get a degree is because an employer they want to kind of like have an easy way to identify good candidates. You know what I'm saying? So a good candidate is going to be somebody with a degree. You know what I'm saying? With
nice resume.
experience. Exactly. So and your experience doesn't have to come from working another job. Your experience can come from doing side projects. All you have to do is be able to illustrate what you've done. Now, things like management positions, you know, you kind of got to work your way to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because unless you have a way to demonstrate that you can manage people in a business setting, there is no real side project for doing that other than having your own business.
Right, and also, like you just said, a skill you learn in school, like networking and socializing. A, a great majority of these people got their jobs based on who they know. So your paperwork and your resume could be on another level, but this person that know someone in a position, or it might be their cousin, friend, whoever, they know this person in a position. They resume may not be as good as yours, but they know the person, so they got the job. So it's like when they going through the resumes, and it's like, hey, look for this name, make sure you hire them, and then it's like it lead the person with the resume or degree or whatever, like, dang, I applied for this job. I know I'm qualified, but why can't I get it? Because there's a lot of people in the door that already knew somebody and brought them in.
Facts.
So networking and socializing and building connections, a lot of that is more important than, I ain't say it's more important than experience, but in a way,
It's
sometimes
just as important. It's just as important.
yeah, it's just as important.
Because it's okay. So if you go
Because
to
they
an
don't
interview,
tell you
right?
that at school.
Say you go to an interview and like say your resume is like bang spot on. You go to the interview, but you awkward in the interview because you don't have social skills. You ain't gonna get the job unless it's an introvert position where you work by yourself. You might get the job, but they're gonna prefer somebody who can speak to other people because,
Right.
like I said, like most of these jobs tend to be like jobs where you have to interact with teams and you got like even your team is going to interact with other teams. So you got to be able to work in and out of networks because I mean everything ties into one another. Like the company is made up of different teams that all work together to make the company what it is. So unless you have a social work job, you don't really get that like freedom to just work by yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's just not set up that way.
And also I feel like a lot of shit they really don't tell you. But I feel like you getting a job sometimes it's based upon who you are as an individual. Because you can have some charisma. You can not have much experience, but like your swag and your charisma and your ability to, whoever interviewing you, your ability to persuade, your ability to kind of may entertain, plus with the knowledge, they may be like, hey, I like this person. It's something about them that make me want to hire them. They may not have the best resume or whatever, but something about, we need this type of person on our team. Like
Facts.
we need this.
So
Like
my cousin Kendall just said she about to start finessing the experience profile. Because I'm gonna tell you not to do that because when you put stuff on your resume, especially stuff that they like,
holy shit.
they're gonna ask you about it in the interview. So like if you can't actually like demonstrate what it is that you're saying that you can, they're gonna just pass up. Like they're gonna go through the interview, but they're gonna say they're gonna call you back. You know what I'm saying? And the way that you got a job at the end of the interview is if they offer you the position at the end of the interview. If they don't offer you the position at the end of the interview, you don't have the job. and you're not gonna get the job.
AJ, I'm gonna go against you. I tell her try it.
I mean, it depends
You
on how
never
you
know.
finesse it. You can't finesse it. You can't finesse in a way that you're lying though, because they're gonna ask. So like, it's real important though. Like it's
But
real important. So I consider finessing the interview. I consider finessing a resume, right, as you getting a resume builder, and that shit helps you build the resume. But you still using things that are actually related to you and what you know.
right,
Like,
but Jay, if you know how to lie, if you
but
can
you
lie
can't know
yourself
how to
into,
lie.
you said
Because what's
what?
gonna happen? You can't know how to lie in a situation like that. Because what's gonna happen is, even if you get to lie through the interview and that shit work, you're gonna get on a job and they're gonna be like, "What happened? You said that you knew this and that. You made it through the interview, like, and you basically just got us."
But at the same time, you already there.
What's that mean? They can just bring somebody else.
You already in the position. So once if you lie yourself into a position and you get in the position and you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you don't know what you're talking about. At the end of the day, and I ain't saying this gonna work on in all instances, but at the end of the day, you could once you get in the door, you could talk to your coworkers or whoever and get some type of assistance or some type of help, but you lie your way there, so you already there to get the assistance and the help. I ain't saying it'll work every time,
So
but
one
you
thing
know
I've
how
been
it should
learning.
go.
So I told you I'm trying to do that cybersecurity stuff. So one thing I've been learning is like it's ways to say that you're learning something without saying that they need to train you on doing it. So for example, with cybersecurity, you need to have a couple certifications before you can come in. Like you just need to have a couple basic ones. It's more important than a degree.
Right.
And so somebody on YouTube was like, what you can do is you can put the certifications on the resume and list the date that you expect to have it completed. That way, because you're still gonna pop up in their resume, like the tracking system, because they got systems that track the keywords of your resume and see like if you got the skills that they're looking for before they'll even pull your shit. So
Right.
so if you because you don't even know how to hack. So if you if you do that right, they're gonna already see that you're learning what you need to learn for the certifications, meaning that you're already showing initiative
Mm-hmm.
and that you're a self-learner and you ain't waiting on somebody else to teach you. You know what I'm saying? You're
Right.
already in the process of doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's real important to just kind of be honest. And I feel like honesty is like the key to longevity, because once you start telling a lie, you got to keep telling a lie. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to keep that shit going.
Yeah,
And
especially right.
that's it.
Especially in the
Like
business world.
eventually you're gonna forget. Yeah, eventually you're gonna forget a part of your lie, or you just gonna get tired or start feeling guilty from lying. So you might as well just be real up front and just say, "Hey, I'm working on these things." Just say it in a professional manner. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, in the business world, yeah. I feel what you're saying.
so I really just recommend everybody get on like a resume website. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll tell you what keywords you need to use. Like, and you can go through the keywords and figure out which ones are for you. You know what I'm saying? And it's real important though. Like it's, I'm telling you, like these interviewers, they really will ask you some shit right off your resume, because it's happened to me before. Like I had put some shit that I really didn't know, and that's why I'm telling you not to do it. I had put some shit that I didn't really know, and they asked me, and yeah. So you think I got that job?
What the
Hell
heck? What
yeah.
you said they asked you?
Hell yeah.
What you just look you
I tried I tried to fucking come up with the best answer I could, but like at the end of the day, you know when a person is bullshitting.
Yeah, they like this
Like,
motherfucker.
and like a lot of the time you'll hear from people that'll be like, I'm a bullshitter, you can't bullshit me. But nah. The real people that you can't bullshit are the ones who don't bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like you can bullshit a bullshitter before you can bullshit somebody who doesn't bullshit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So when you come into these interviewers and they do this, You know what I'm saying? They're used to coming across people who actually know what the fuck they're talking about. If you don't know what you're talking about, they're gonna know.
Cause they're gonna read it in your body language,
Hell
how
yeah.
fast you answer, how. But that's even just with human nature in general. You can tell when somebody, you can read when somebody bullshit. That's why
Exactly.
you gotta respect the person to be like, man, I've been bullshit. You gotta give them the utmost respect because most people they're gonna try to run it on your ass.
Facts.
They're gonna try to run it.
Hell yeah. So it's real important to just stay true to yourself when doing a job, and that shit can probably put you in a further position, honestly. So that's just my view on it. You know what I'm saying? But to get off of that, let's go to something else. We've been talking about this for a minute.
Okay.
So, question:
Run it.
is it time for men to start being brutally honest with women?
Yeah, and but that delivery matter too. It depends though. It depends on the situation. It like if you're dealing with a woman, it's your girlfriend or just a girl you rocking with.
I
You
mean,
you
men
can't
as
be.
a whole. I
You
mean,
said
like
what?
as a whole, men as a whole. Speaking to
Oh
women
yeah,
as a whole.
yeah. I feel like yeah. Because at the end of the day, women brutally honest with us, and we gotta accept it with
They,
everything.
they
Like
more than brutally honest with us.
yeah,
Shit.
they brutally honest with us, and we have to accept it. As far as like in the music and life, like men been having to accept it though. Because as a guy, you know, like just say you want a woman, she may not want you back because you're not on your shit.
Facts.
So she may not tell you I don't want you because you on your shit, but she might not say nothing at all. And the guys that ain't on their shit know like she ain't fucking with me because I ain't on a certain level. We know that we can, accept the truth. However, on the other hand, a lot of times women live in an illusion. They feel like they more valuable than what they are. And I feel like that's come from, I don't know, like just their life. Like as a woman, you told you're beautiful, guys in your DM, X, Y, and Z. So it
I'm
kind of
gonna
like
take it
built
back to. I'm gonna take it back to what I was saying last week, and I think it's how we raise them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
in
hell yeah.
fact, in fact, in fact, I'm gonna use an example with my cousin Kiana. So I remember, I think we were like 9 and 10 or 10 and 11. We was riding in the car, and I remember like I was messing with her, right? Like I shouldn't have been messing with her, but I was messing with her. And her dad got mad, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, Jeremy, if you don't stop, I'm gonna turn around and knock your fucking teeth out. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like had the roles been reversed, it might have been a different situation because she's a girl, you know what I'm saying? And another thing, like I just feel like, yeah, you cuz. Oh no, you ain't rude. You ain't rude, cuz I read your comment. But I just feel like, we don't hold women to the flame like we do with men. You know what I'm saying? Like we kind of give them excuses on why they get to do what they want to do, or if they did something that was fucked up, we might tell them they was wrong, but we don't punish them the same. You know what I'm saying? So
Let me ask you a question. Do you feel like that's because people don't want to deal with them emotions of a woman, so they let it ride? Like we
I feel like
all
that's the
men,
problem. I feel like
we
that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? And shit, I watched my dad just like kind of ignore how he felt to make my mom feel better or not get into arguments with her. And that's kind of led me to be more confrontational in relationships because
yeah. When you
like
let
I was
shit
like,
ride,
dang, like I've been watching my dad be upset because she just doing what she want to do. So now when I'm in a relationship with a woman, I'm gonna tell her straight up how I feel about whatever. Like I ain't about to just let nothing ride. If you can't handle that shit, fuck you.
She gonna respect you more though for not letting it ride.
Exactly. She gonna know she can't run over my ass.
Exactly.
Like
But what go ahead. No, I'm saying what a lot of girls do though is a lot of them want somebody that's gonna let that shit slide. And as time go on, they gonna grow to resent that person. They're gonna grow to resent that person, and then that's when things go left.
So Taisha said, I think it's because women are supposed to be this soft, innocent person, whereas men are supposed to be this hard person. While that's true, I feel like I feel like the way that we treat them though is not letting them, in fact, let me not say not letting, it's really more so causing y'all to be able to just act how y'all want to act.
With no consequences.
Exactly. Women be acting harder than men these days. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like everybody just need to tell each other the truth. You feel me? Like,
yeah, like you said, be brutally honest.
And the brutal, honest fact is, as a woman, if you put your hands on a man and that man takes exception to it, you're gonna get your ass knocked the fuck out. So you might as well
get charged. He may get charged.
But hold on, fuck that part. Fuck the law. We ain't even gonna, like, let's say there ain't no law. You know what I'm saying? We know there is, but let's just say there ain't no law. You know what I'm saying?
He gonna knock your ass to a coma.
You not gonna be the same the next day.
Your face ain't gonna be the same. You know no pictures for your ass.
And, you know, I just feel like as men and women, we gotta, because we don't want violence amongst each other. Like, we live in a civilized society. We need to treat each other appropriately. So if a man is a man and a woman is a woman, we all need to do what we need to do. Like, so I obviously don't think men should be putting their hands on women. But I also don't think, I don't think women should be doing that either. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, like, I ain't just gonna put my hands on a woman. Like, but I will if it comes to that. Like, because I remember I was in it was my senior year in high school, and I was in ROTC, and I was play fighting with this girl, and she started choking me. Like, she got mad, started choking me. I'm like, hey, put me down. We're gonna be done. She started choking me harder, so I slammed her ass. Like, I literally like slammed her ass, and then I blacked out for like 5 seconds, but I was choking her ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, once I got her on that table, I was choking her. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had to pull me off because it was like, you know, I ain't wanted to go that far. I tried to de-escalate the situation, but once you done made me mad, now you dealing with, you know what I'm saying?
A mad male.
Exactly. You dealing with a male. Like, so rather than, you know, put yourself in situations like that, like, if you're gonna play fight with a dude, just keep it playing. You know what I'm saying? If it's time to drop the situation, drop the situation. And the same can be said in relationships. If y'all gonna argue, but don't put your hands on him. Don't slap the nigga. Like, if you find out he cheated on you, don't slap him. You know what I'm saying? He might deserve it.
You gotta manage the emotions.
Exactly. He might deserve that shit, but that don't mean it's your place to do it. Because if it's one thing that I've learned, is when you step in the way of somebody else's karma, you're gonna deal with your karma and their karma.
Right. Hey, I want to go back to what you said when you was like, should we be more brutally honest? I can tell you why a lot of guys don't be brutally honest with the women. That's gonna fuck up their opportunity to have sex with them.
That's true.
A lot of men treat
that's true.
A lot of men ain't gonna say what they feel because you can't have sex with no pissed off female. If you give them the truth, you're gonna mess up your opportunity of hitting. So a lot of men butter it up and water it up so they can still hit. But if, let's just say, you feel like, I don't know, if you feel like a girl a hoe, or you feel like she need to get this right or get herself together or fix her mentality, and when you say all this when you link with her, now she pissed off, you hurt her feelings, she ain't finna let you hit. So it's like, that's why men don't do it, because it's gonna mess up the opportunity to have sex.
I feel like that's a bad thing because
It's
the more that
it's
we do
terrible
that,
though. Yeah, it is terrible.
the more we do that, the less connected to reality a lot of them become. And the more they start expecting to hear certain things. Like I used to argue with my baby mama all the time because she would be like, well, guys told me this, guys told me that. And I'd be like, they only told you that so they could fuck. Like,
Exactly, but
they
they
didn't tell you
believe it.
that
It's
because,
like you keep
like,
going.
we got into it the other day because I was telling her about the podcast and she started trying to tell me, like, and I told her, I said, hey, this is a podcast where men are going to be speaking their
Right,
feelings about how men feel. And she was
right.
like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, honestly, your opinion don't even matter. Like, this ain't about you. Like, this is about men. You ain't a man. You don't get to, like, you can have your feelings, but your feelings don't matter. So don't try to argue with me. I'm just telling you about the podcast. I ain't
Until they
trying
get
to
her
go.
own podcast, she can
Exactly.
say
I
what she
ain't trying
want
to
to say.
debate with you. So she got quiet, and then I kept telling her, you know what I'm saying, about the podcast, and she just kept trying to interject. So I got mad, and I just hung up because, I mean, I ain't about to argue. Like, I feel like I'm too damn. I don't argue with too many motherfuckers. Like, and I ain't about to argue with you if ain't nothing good gonna come out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but it goes into what you just
Like
said.
if we arguing, and I know that us arguing is us listening to each other, even though we're in an emotional state, then I might
Right.
argue with you. But I ain't gonna argue with you if I'm just arguing with you. You know what I'm saying?
And it ain't really got nothing to do with it. Ain't really worth it.
Exactly.
It's just two different opinions, and
Exactly.
yeah, and exactly right.
So like I had went out with this girl this past weekend, and like this just goes back to you what you said about men lying to women so they can hit. And like I guess I gotta give it more time. You know what I'm saying? I still think it's gonna go successfully, but you know, I mean, it ain't really my plan. Like, if I'm interested in a woman, I ain't pressed to hit her on the first night. I honestly would feel better if she don't on the first night. But, um, you know, I kept it real with her about how I felt because we was talking about the podcast too, and she was telling me her views, and I was telling her mine, and we was disagreeing, but we weren't disagreeing in a way that it was affecting our night with each other. You know what I'm saying? It was just more like I see it this way, and she was like I see it that way, and you know I feel like that's how you have conversations with people, and when you're disagreeing, because if you get so emotional that you just completely shut out what the other person's saying, you ain't even gonna be able to process it later. You know
But
what I'm saying?
how many women and men, people in general, how many people are emotionally intelligent? Like if I'm
20%.
you my boy, I could disagree with you up here. We have two different views. We ain't finna argue though because you feel
Right.
how you feel and I feel how I feel. But how many people are emotionally intelligent enough to just have a conversation about different viewpoints? Not many.
20%. Only
Right.
20%.
But then again, that goes into, like I said, the sex factor. If you feel the opposite way of a woman and you trying to like deal with her, or you not even just sex, you trying to rock with her, she may not be able to accept your opinion on how you feel. So here comes the attitude. And who wants to be around somebody that's constant attitude or just being combative? You get what I'm saying? That it
Nah, I feel
turns
you.
into the I voice my opinion, but we still in the
Exactly.
same space. All
Exactly.
right, I may put my arm around you or whatever the case may be, something simple. You like, nah, get off me because I ain't emotionally intelligent. Remember, I ain't this. Remember, and then it turns into you don't even want to be. Now you don't even want to be around a woman. It's like,
Right.
but then if you voice your opinion to every woman, majority of them just won't be able to take that. So, but I don't know. It just goes into what you said too earlier. It was like how they raise, and these dudes don't tell these girls the truth, and I feel like they fucking up the game. Cause a nigga like me, yeah, we gonna go at it.
Cause I'll show you the link if you want me to. Um, but Daniel said nowadays you gotta have that bag, and that's 100% true. Well, it depends on the woman, obviously, but for the most part, it's pretty true. But even then, even when you have the bag, she ain't just trying to like let you do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like a lot of women are just very entitled, and
Right.
that's the type of shit that I'm trying to like
But
break.
if you got the bag, a lot of women will let you do whatever, but they not gonna display it like they're not gonna present it that way. They already got in their mind like I'm trying to rock with him because he got the bag, but I don't want
Facts.
to. I don't want to present myself like a hoe,
Facts.
but so he'll have this opinion of me because I know other women is trying to get with him. So I need to present myself a little differently,
You
although I
see,
know in my
those
heart.
bitches ain't the bitches to be fucking with anyway. You know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
you're right. But it's a large percentage of them out here that's trying to like wear the mask until you get to know them. I don't care about your car. I don't care about where you live at. I don't care about your money, yada yada yada. All that shit be a lie. Because guess what? Every man know what it feel like, or they know what's what when they don't have a specific car, or they don't live in a specific area, or they not wearing specific clothes, or women don't be the same. So if you're not rocking with me because of
who
all
I am.
the
If you don't fuck
yeah,
with me because of how I think, then I don't want to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? And it's that simple. And
exactly.
we ain't gotta agree on everything. But if you can't notice that I have a certain pattern of thought, then it's just kind of like fuck you, bitch. Like, because honestly, we all gonna be wrong about shit.
Right.
But if you can't like factually tell me why I'm wrong, then you don't even need to argue. Like you can't argue just because you feel a certain way. You got to argue
Yeah.
because
Feelings
you
ain't got
know
nothing to do
it's a
with
certain
facts.
outcome to the actions. You know what I'm saying? Like so, I ain't gonna argue just because I feel a certain type of way. Like I'm gonna argue if I know some shit. Like so, and I kind of like I be talking to my best friend like, and I be telling her like, because we be talking about our relationship situations, and I be telling her, hey, like if you ain't got no proof this nigga's doing this, you don't need to be up his ass. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't need to be snooping. You don't need to do none of that because you're just gonna
Give
cause
yourself a
yourself
headache.
extra stress. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't real. So you might as well just relax. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, you're
keep it
gonna give
that
yourself a headache.
exactly. So I just I think life is about being happy. You know what I'm saying? And being happy is not always easy. Like there's gonna be a lot of moments during your journey to be happy that you gotta be upset or you gotta, be a little I don't even know the word. But you're not gonna always feel the best. You know what I'm saying? Some of the things you gotta do to be happy are not always gonna be things that make you happy in the moment. Like, for example, the person that's gotta work 10 hours a day to feed their family. Like they probably don't want to go to work 10 hours a day. 9 times out of 10, they don't want to go to work 10 hours a day. But they're going to be happy on the weekend when they get their check, their bills is paid, their kids get toys. You know what I'm saying? They
Et
can put
cetera, et
money
cetera.
aside, take their kids out to eat, whatever. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's little sacrifices you got to make along the way in order to get to where you want to go. And I feel like this is the thing that we have to kind of instill into women because they don't want to take the sacrifice. They just want what they want now. You know what I'm saying? If the process to getting to where they want to go is not what they want it to be, they're gonna say, "Well, fuck that, fuck the outcome. I don't want to go through the process." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a
And
lot of men too though. It's getting to the point
yeah,
men
men
don't
too,
want to.
men too. I mean, it's really people in general, but we're talking about women right now.
Right.
So I feel like we just gotta kind of say, hey, like this is what you got to do. This is what it is, and this just ties back into our WNBA conversation because it's like, all right, you know, if your fans want to see y'all dunk, and y'all can't dunk like that on a 10-foot rim, then why not lower the goal? If you can shoot, you can adjust to shooting on a 9-foot goal. Like I remember when I had a goal in my driveway, we used to move that bitch from 8 to 10 all the time, like 8, 9, and 10, 8.5, 9.5. Like we would really move the goal to to basically like determine like, okay, who's on the court, you know what I'm saying? What can we do on the court? Like, do we want to dunk? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I mean, there's always going to be a couple people that can dunk, you know what I'm saying? And there's going to be a couple who can't. So sometimes we drop the goal to 9, and now we having a much more interesting game because after this nigga done crossed you, he's able to dunk the ball. You know what I'm saying? So it's really that simple. It ain't like I could see if they had goals like some high school arenas where the shit is hanging from the top and it's literally a set height.
Yeah.
But they have goals just like the NBA players. Just lower the shit down. Like we ain't looking for y'all to do shit on a specific height rim. Even if y'all had a 7-foot rim, if y'all was doing shit that's interesting in the game, we are gonna overlook the height of the rim.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you just need to play to the rules that the officials have, you know, made so y'all can get through the game.
Hey, let me ask you a question. You feel like happiness?
What's up?
Do you feel like happiness is a choice?
Nah. Well, yes and no.
Why no?
So I feel like happiness is a choice because yeah, you could do things to make your life happy, like to just pretty much generally shape your life to where you're happy, right? But there are times in life where things out of your control are gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like people die. That's the best example I can give you. People die. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know how that's gonna affect everybody. Everybody responds differently to trauma. The different things that we go through in and out of life. Like, and pretty much that's the only thing that I'm gonna say is why you can't choose happiness per se, but you can choose to do things that will give you a better chance of being happy. Like you can do things in your life that when these traumatic situations happen, you can have a higher success of rebounding back to happiness faster based off of what you do in your everyday life. For example, you know, the person who drinks versus the person who doesn't drink. The person who drinks, if somebody dies in their life and they're a drinker and they usually drink to cover up how they feel, they never gonna get back right. The person who doesn't drink to cover up how they feel, and I ain't saying that you can't drink. What I'm saying is what you're drinking for. So if you don't drink,
like your attention.
Exactly. If you don't drink to cover up emotions, then you're gonna be a lot more successful in managing your emotions. Because we all know alcohol is a depressant, so it really just inhibits your ability to have any type of control in general. Where is this nigga T at?
I feel like a lot of go back to what you were saying about the like you said, 10-hour work day. Like, damn, I don't want to go to work. A person can have a 10-hour work day and be like, I'm going to work every day. This shit not making me happy. But I feel like a lot of time happiness is about perspective too. Because you gotta also think, what if I ain't have no job? How unhappy or fucked up would I be? Like, if I didn't have no hours to work and I ain't had no money, I really ain't finna be happy. So sometimes I feel like you gotta change the perspective, change the way you see it, because it's like if a person could, we all pay rent. You could pay your rent and be like, God damn, that's a lot of money. I do not feel like paying it. But then you gotta also think like, hey, I can pay it, and I ain't homeless. What if I had to find somewhere to stay with my cousin or my mom or whatever the case may be? So it's like, I don't know. A lot of times I feel like it's about perspective, because a lot of the times in our lives we didn't have what we have now, or it may be responsibility, but when you have no responsibility, you really don't got nothing. Like,
Facts.
so I feel like a lot of shit about perspective too, and the way we see it.
That's a fact. Like a lot of people. In fact, I'm gonna go back to when I was in college. So, my homeboy Ant, it's like my brother right there. He used to always tell me like I ain't have time for them. Like after I started making money, he was like, bro, you don't ever come chill no more. You don't never got time. You know what I'm saying? I used to always have to like explain like, cause I'm working towards something. You know what I'm saying? Like, so whenever the opportunity arises, I'm gonna drop what I'm doing personally to go handle business because I know I'm trying to be to a certain level. You know what I'm saying? Like people used to ask why I get on the road all the time, and just do that, and it just be like because
You trying to
I'm
get
trying
the
to
way you
do
trying to
something.
get.
Exactly, like I'm trying to go handle business. Like it's certain shit I'm trying to do, and I know what I got to do to get there, even though I might not want to do it. Honestly, nah. When you want to be somewhere, you're
You
gonna
want to
want to
grind.
drop. Yeah, you're gonna want to drop what you're doing to go do what's gonna get you to the next stage. And you know, I did that shit straight up. Like I did it. I made it here. You know what I'm saying? So now, right now, like I'm in the process of figuring out what's the next way. What I got to do now? And that's why I'm going to do cybersecurity because it's going to put me in a room with people that are going to help me get to the real next level. So I feel like you just gotta grind. You gotta have a goal, and when you got goals, it kind of just takes away. It takes away the disadvantages of losing a little bit of personal time with people because when people can see your progress and people start saying, "Hey, I see you done did this or you got it like this now." You know what I'm saying? It's confirmation and affirmation that what you was doing worked. You know what I'm
And
saying?
also,
Like
keep going.
so like they might not have seen it before, but when they can start seeing it, then you know that you was doing what you was supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? It's really that simple.
Like, and also too, what you grinding and getting to where you want to get and going to the next level. It also makes the personal time better because now you can do more. Like you can, for instance, if a kid maybe like, Dad, you always at work, or you always busy, whatever the case may be. Kid may be like, Dad, we don't get as much time. We just sitting around chilling, whatever the case may be.
Fact.
However, the result of that father working a lot, now it ain't just we sitting at the house watching TV. Now I can take you to amusement parks. Now I can buy you the clothes you want or the games you want. I can do more based upon me putting in this work. But if I'm just sitting here in your face all day chilling with you, or you just and we not doing much, how are we gonna go to these amusement parks or how are we gonna go to the next level? Same way
Fact.
like you were saying with your boys, like they be like, Dad, Jay, we don't even see you much. It's like, hey, but when y'all see me now, it may be more going on. I met more people. I don't know, bring more women around. Like I got more going on. Like it ain't how when we was freshmen in college and we was putting in, $5-10 to get a I don't know, 2 for 15. Now it's like shit. Hey, bro, I bought some. We good. We got the liquor.
Right.
We having a good time.
Yeah, we got enough.
Yeah, we got enough now. So,
Yeah,
but that don't just come. You
fact.
gotta miss time with people. You gotta
Yeah.
go
But
grind.
one thing I will say though about people, like when there's when you're a people person, you ain't gotta have money to have people around you. Hey, that's my nigga Ant right there. Hey, what's good, Ant? I was just talking about you, bro. I was literally just talking about you, bro. But when you're a people person, you always gonna be able to bring people around. Like
Right. That's
so,
automatic.
when I before I started even making money, I always had bitches. Like I always just bringing bitches
Me
around with
too.
me. Like you know what I'm saying? It ain't never been like a thing where I couldn't because that's just like I am where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? I know the people that I know, so I already had the knowledge of how to do certain things. But what ended up happening was as I really started grinding and working, the quality of the women started going up. You know what I'm saying? Like because now I'm becoming a certain type of dude who's gonna attract a certain type of woman. You know what I'm saying? So you get what you get when you are where you are. So as you move through life, you're gonna be able to change the type of people around you. Like so, you should never expect like so if you wasn't able to have friends when you don't have money, you probably not gonna have friends when you got money.
Hell no, you ain't. And
So
then a lot of niggas gonna think like, I got money now. My life about to be different. You the same nigga now. You the same
it's
person.
the same.
You
Yeah.
and then you
So
might think. that go into what we were just saying too. You might think that these girls like you. No, they like you for what you got. Now you done got so tied up into this woman or these people that's around you thinking that they like you, but like I said, they like what you got. And then at the end of the day, you be heartbroken because you're not able to, you haven't had enough experience in life to distinguish who like you for you and who like you for what you got. So that's when that heartbreak and all that confusion and that pain come in. And then I don't know, it's like just a ongoing cycle. You got the people that could attract certain things without the money, but as they go on, the value go up. And then you got the certain people that could never attract nothing. Now they got money and they feeling themselves, but they don't even know. It's like, man, them people don't fuck with you at all. Because it's a lot of, I know niggas personally, they got more than what they had in the past, and they like, why I can't pull certain holes or why I can't do certain things. Because it ain't about the external, it's about the internal. It's about you as a person. Yeah, and it's like if you don't change,
and really, like
when you get a certain age, you said what?
I was about to say, I think one thing that's like, so like, okay, if you don't have money and you got a lot of friends, like, and I think this is like real important, especially it really depends on how you make your money too. But if you got friends and you start to get money, a lot of the time, yes, it does run in the family. A lot of the time though, what ends up happening is you start to isolate yourself though, for real, because you know, when people are rocking with you for you and then you start changing a little bit, because like, let's not lie, like when you start making money, your life change a little bit, so you change a little bit. Like it don't mean that you're going to become an entirely different person, but you definitely gonna start, like, you're gonna learn, okay, this person was just rocking with me until I got to this level, and then honestly they might even really fuck with you, but they don't have self-control, so they might see an opportunity, you know what I'm saying, and they might take that shit and it might be against you. So as you start coming up, you start cutting people off, because it's like, all right, I only need people around me that's not going to hinder me getting to the next level. You know what I'm saying?
You need people around you that's going to think how you think, so it's easier.
Exactly. Because when y'all all don't got money, y'all all kind of looking for a little opportunity. But when one of you got money and then most of them don't, then they're going to kind of be looking at you as either the person that's supposed to be giving them money,
that's when
the person they're going to try to take the money from.
Yeah, that's when the entitlement and the hating start, because like, oh, we all come from the same place, but you got more going on. But it's like, nigga, you didn't want to do what I did to get at exactly. 5 a.m. was too early for you. Exactly. 2 a.m. was too late for you. I went and did this. I filled out this application. I went to the gym. I did whatever I had to do. You had an excuse for everything. So we all come from the same place, but you don't want to put in the work. And also, while you putting in the work, you will tell people like how you get into the next level. Like, look, man, you do this and you do this and you do this. They don't want to listen. They don't want to hear it. So it's like when I get to this level, it's like people may feel like, damn, you don't fuck with me no more. And it's like, you didn't grow with me though. You didn't grow with me while I was growing. So us being around one another ain't about to be as smooth as it used to be when we didn't have shit.
Facts. Hell yeah. Hey, for y'all in the chat, if you can, like, subscribe, and share this podcast onto your Facebook, your IG, your Twitter, TikTok. Help us get out there. You know what I'm saying? We just started. This is our second episode. Our second host is not here right now. We're waiting on him to join. He might not make it in time. But typically it's three of us. So it's me, Jizzle, and with me, I'm Jeremy. People call me Jay. It's Jizzle.
Jizzle, what's good?
Our boy T. T is on the way to his destination right now. He don't have service, so hopefully he get to join. But he's the one with the perspective that he makes our conversations interesting, because now we have some type of like debate to really have. So
Right.
me and Jizzle kind of be on the same time. T is on a different time, but we all
Yeah.
respect each other, so we can have debates.
We can agree to disagree.
Exactly. Even if it's a long time to reach the agreement to disagree, it's never gonna become a well, fuck you, nigga. Get the fuck off the
Yeah,
phone. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like,
Because we
so
all human beings with our own brain.
so that's gonna be the dynamic of our host. You know what I'm saying? But we will be having on guests. We do expect some of these guest interactions to be explosive, especially with some of the female audiences. Um, we know that there's gonna be times where we're gonna end up getting into it. You know what I'm saying? So hold on, guys. All right, but yeah, so that's pretty much gonna be our dynamic. We just trying to goddamn have a little discussion and show y'all this is how you debate. This is how you respect other people. You know what I'm
Just
saying?
display your mind.
Exactly.
Because it's like we could. I mean, I feel like a lot of people feel like this. It's like, all right, me and you chop it up on the phone, and it's like, hey, we could put we could put a little bit more leg work into it, and come up and and had a podcast, opposed to just being on the phone and nobody able to chime in or nobody able to see what we got going on. And also too, I feel like shit, this will motivate people to they could get some shit going. It may not be a podcast specifically, but they may be able to turn up their ideas, put their ideas and display them, and go to the next level, whatever they're doing. So I
Exactly.
feel like, yeah, man, everybody.
And that's honestly how the podcast got started. So like I remember this a few years ago, like we was on A&T campus and we was talking. I don't even remember how we got there, but the question was asked. In fact, it wasn't even a question. Like we was talking about a situation, and this nigga T was like, "Yeah, if the boys got behind me, I'ma run." And then that shit just led to us having like a 20-30 minute debate about why you should or shouldn't run from the boys. You know what I'm saying? And ever since then, we just always kind of like had the idea to just form some kind of talk show where we could bounce our ideas off one another. Because T was like, these are the conversations we need to be having. You know what I'm saying? People need to be hearing this. And he won't lying though, because like he was giving real reasons why us as men, especially black men, might be inclined to run from the police. And I was giving real reasons why, as a person in general, you might just not want to do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how we got to here. Unfortunately, he can't be here right now, but it'll be a much more interesting show next time. So
Yeah, because T gonna come with the different opinion. He coming. But I feel like that's the beauty of life, though. Everybody got their own different. If everybody thought the same, this shit'll be boring out here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it would be. You need people that think different. Like even like that's why I like talking. Despite how women think, I like talking to them because it's like, damn, you really think like this? Sometimes it's you. Sometimes it's like, damn, like you really think that way. Whether
I
it's
ain't gonna lie, that should be making me mad, bro. Like, it don't even be like a damn, you really think that way. It'd be like, man, you dumb as fuck. Like,
me personally, I don't get mad because I feel like shit. A woman could think how she think. How she think could be completely wrong or it's inaccurate to facts. However, you could tell her like, hey, if you do this, this is gonna be the result. If you do that, it's probably gonna turn out like this. I'm speaking to you from experience. We all
But
live in the
even
same.
when you do that, they still be in their fairy tale.
But at the end of the day, though, Jay, at the end of the day, life don't life don't change. So they're gonna have to go what you go through a lot of the times is a reflection of how you think. So when the woman face the consequences of their mentality, that's why they be in their feelings and shit all the time, or
So
sad or confused. You
Daniel
said what?
said some women can really put you on game. That's a fact. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah, hell yeah.
But it's not many. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And the reason why it's not because they're unintelligent for real. Like they have brains. Like it's really more so like they in denial. And you know, we coming up on the end of the show. We got about 15, 20 minutes left. So we're gonna come up on our last question. You know what I'm saying? Um, let me see which one I'm going with. Are women more slaves than men, past and present?
no. Men are more slaves than women.
You think so?
When you say slave, you mean like
I mean like slaves. And I don't mean like slaves in, you know,
working
American
hard?
sense. I mean more like you ain't living in reality. You ain't really got free will. You know what I'm saying?
You said okay, I kind of get what you're saying. Like slaves of like,
Them slaves of the mind, slaves of society.
oh yeah, hell yeah. Because and I'm about to go in on this one. I feel like they are more slaves because whatever they come out with, whatever's trending, yeah, a lot of men do what's trending, do whatever they come out with, but a lot of the times women are more inclined to copy what they see based upon the results that it's getting. So a lot of women don't have like that's why we got in today's time, we got so many women with the same personality because it's like, all right, we have social media. So when the media first came out, people in general used to post whatever they wanted to, whatever came to mind, whatever they felt like they wanted to post. Now we live in a time where people only post what make them look good. So I feel like they're more slaves because this will always change. Like it's an ongoing cycle. The world will always change. There will always be new ideas. It will always be new trends, ways of fashion. Everything will always change. And I feel like, yes, as a human, you're supposed to evolve. But at the end of the day, I feel like you should be able to read between the lines of what the world and the media and everything. I feel like you should be able to read in between what they trying to put in your mind and what they want you to be. It go into what we was even saying about the school. It's like they tell you make A's and B's, they tell you make dean's lists. You should be able to read in between the lines, like, damn, everybody that made A's and B's and made dean's lists and had good grades aren't successful. Same thing with women. I feel like they supposed to be able to look at it like, damn, like they trying to turn us all into the same type of woman. Same clothes off, naked, turn around, show your ass. Same, I ain't dealing with a broke nigga mentality. Same, I'm only gonna post what make me look good. Same, I don't need a nigga for nothing. It's like they just slaves to everything that's going on. So yes, I feel like they're more slaves than us. Because men get slapped with reality. So it's like, as a guy, you can live in la la land. That shit ain't about to be for long, nigga. You already know what's up as a guy. You already know what you got to do. The world is gonna treat you a certain way when you. The world gonna treat you a certain way as a guy when you don't live in reality. You can feel like you want the money, the car, the respect, the woman, the education, the knowledge. The world gonna treat you a way when you don't got it. As a woman, like I said, they're gonna lie to you to get what they want out of you. Niggas gonna lie to hit. As a guy, you have to deal with the harsh reality of whatever is going on. Like you that's just I don't know. This shit can go.
But see, okay, so that's why I feel like. So that's why I kind of feel like they are more slaves. So if I were to go back to the past, the reason why I'm gonna say that they're more slaves is because I mean they literally had no rights for real. You know what I'm saying? Their rights were extended to them through their family. So like, you know, they kind of knew more like what was really going on. Like everybody was more so based in reality than today, but they really didn't have rights. So they were slaves back then. And now, like a side note that I put with this is the truth shall set you free. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's true because when you don't know the truth, you can't even really operate in reality.
Or
You can't
don't
even
want to accept it. Because you can know it.
hold on. Let me get there. You can't even operate from like a standpoint of being free because you don't even know what reality is. You know what I'm saying? In order to be free, you have to know how to freely move in the real world. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like women, not all of them, but most of them, they are kind of like in this like social media world that they feel like isn't real life, but it is real life. You know what I'm saying? And they're not really able to accept the truths of real life. Like they think that because they get a lot of clicks on a Instagram picture, that that's the same thing as people genuinely supporting them for who they are. When really niggas is clicking the shit, so hopefully you see their username. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure that they're gonna slide into your DMs too.
Right.
You
It's
know
like,
what I'm
damn,
saying?
she thick as hell.
Like niggas is just gassing you up because for one, you're asking for their attention. You know what I'm saying?
Because you bent over.
And yeah, and the nigga want to hit, but the nigga don't fuck with you for real. Like,
Nigga,
cause
this
niggas,
funny.
exactly, niggas don't want their woman on social media posting those type of pictures.
But that's why them
And
women not getting wife.
exactly, but they're not
Not
able to
quality
accept
men.
that. You know, whenever you ask a woman why she ain't married or why she's single, her choice is always, I mean, her answer is always, I chose this.
Or
No,
these
you
niggas
didn't.
not on my level.
You say what?
Or they'll flip it and be like, niggas
That's
ain't
the
this.
same. That's the
Niggas
same
not.
answer. Because
Huh?
she's choosing. That's the same answer. Because she's saying she's choosing not to have a certain thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the reality is,
She don't
ain't no
attract a certain
man,
thing.
ain't no man really fucking with her. You know what I'm saying? Because a woman who a man wants to be with is gonna be off the shelf. Like I don't know any good women who are still available. Well, I know a couple, but I don't know. Like the majority of good women that I know are literally married.
Or
You know
got
what I'm
in
saying?
relationship.
And they've been taken for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like so
And
it kind
Jay,
of just be like, what's up?
look at this though. Like just a scenario. You got a girl, you like her, you love her, whatever the case may be. This is your girlfriend. A lot of people, how do we display others to who we're meeting? Like, oh, bro, this my girl. Yeah, da, da, da. You go to her Instagram, and it's like, damn, she naked and all the pictures. No, nobody want that to be theirs. It's like you can't even show who you rocking with. You can't
That's a
even.
fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. But yeah, like so I mean, the reality is women are becoming more miserable and they dying more frequently by themselves. And this reason is directly related to their ability to accept truth, their ability to accept responsibility, and their ability to be accountable. So
I also feel like
if we're not brutally honest with our women, they're never gonna develop these habits and traits.
right.
So even though there are disadvantages of being brutally honest, such as let me see, I wrote the shit down. So
But
there are disadvantages, like in the short term, the women's feelings might be hurt. There might be some initial pushback, but in the long term, women will eventually learn to accept the truth. they'll have happier lives, and they'll live with more realistic expectations, which will all lead to us living and coexisting more peacefully than we do today.
Yeah.
And I
And
feel like
also though, too, they gotta see it as I feel like they gotta see it as love in a sense, as far as like as a guy, when you care about a woman, you want to see her better. So when you tell her these truths, it's not you're not bashing her, you're not telling her that you're not pulling her down. It's just you telling her because you care about her and you want her to be better. Whether it's your girl, your friend, your mama, you want them to be better. Because as a male, me and you both know when you don't give a fuck about a woman, you don't care what she got in her mind. It's like I don't give a fuck. You ain't mine. I ain't dealing with you. You have no relation to me at all. So how you thinking is how you thinking. But when we come in contact with women that we care about and that we love, it's like, hey, I want you to be a better person. So I'm gonna put you on game.
fact,
And and once you come to accept these truths, it's like we can coexist. We can be better. We can be better of a team if we are on the same page. Because now when you are if we going on a road trip tomorrow and you took the whip and you ran and handled business, it's like, hey, you already filled the car up because you knew we was leaving at 5, opposed to you get what I'm saying, opposed to not doing it. Now it's like in the morning we got to go do X, Y, and Z. It's like if y'all on the same page, it'll flow more smooth, and it's like you don't have certain problems, certain things on an argument, certain things on a debate because y'all on the same page.
so cause what we had asked the question, are women more slaves than men in the past and the present? And basically we were saying, yeah, like, and it stems from in the past it was more so because they really didn't have rights. In the present, it's more so because they don't live in reality and they don't accept the truth. You know what I'm saying? So it's like for real, what's going on is women are being lied to, like in reality. Like that's really what's going on. Like we are lying to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all being nah, for real though. Like we
No, I know
lying to
you for real. It's just your delivery always funny, nigga. I gotta tell you.
y'all. Y'all being kept in the dark. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not because we don't want to tell the truth. We just don't want to deal with y'all not
The
accepting the
emotions.
truth. Like if we could tell y'all whatever, and y'all would be like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? Let me think about that logically.
Right.
Like we tell y'all the truth about everything. Niggas probably wouldn't even lie about fucking other bitches. Cause I mean, let's be real. A nigga fuck another bitch, his woman is still likely to stay with him. So like the only reason why a nigga lie in the first place is because they don't want to deal with the emotions. You know what
Hey,
I'm saying?
look. This I'm gonna put this in there too. You said she's still liable to stay. She may be like, hey, I'm gone. I'm find me another guy that I feel like maybe on the same level. And then it's like, hey, he may do the same thing. And now you're like, what's going on? It's like, hey, this is another truth. It's, I don't know. You know how the game go.
I feel like I feel like we gotta stop lying to them because like I think niggas should not be telling bitches that they just want to fuck, that they want to actually be with them. Like I feel like that's a big thing because a lot of these women think that they can just be with anybody, and it's like nah, like you can't just be with anybody. And it's a lot of women with kids that think that they still gonna get that certain man, and it's like nah, no, you're not. Like I mean, it's possible, anything possible. Like I ain't gonna say it ain't possible, but you know,
You gotta have that leverage. You gotta. It depends on what you're doing as a person. It's all like what you got going on and who you are and your baggage. It's everything goes into it. Baggage, mentality, finances, shape,
you know,
network.
Daniel, when I talk to you, when I had that conversation with you a few months ago, you know, I honestly was in the mentality of more so like saying, you know, as a man, cheating is kind of whatever. Like, who cares? But I mean, now I have the perspective of cheating is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like just because I'm a man doesn't mean that I should cheat on my woman. You know what I'm saying? And that's just kind of where I've gotten to. Like, I still do think it means less than a woman cheating, but you know, men should not cheat. Like, it's still foul. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all types of disadvantages that can come from cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think the most important thing that you got to think of whenever you stepping out on your partner, you got to think about your health. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is your decision going to affect your health? You know what I'm saying? Which might affect their health. So, like, the best rule of thumb is if you know you shouldn't be doing it, you probably just shouldn't be doing it. Like, if you know that it's going to upset your partner in the short term and the long term, then you shouldn't do it. Now, if you got a decision to make that is only going to accept them in the short term, but they'll be happy in the long term, fuck it. By all means, do it, because I mean, that's probably not a cheating decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for example, if you got to go to work more, but you're going to have more, you know what I'm saying? Like, their life's going to be easier. Go to work more. Like, fuck that shit complaining she can't see you for 2 more hours out the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, she gonna be happy because she gonna have a lot more money of yours to spend.
She'll love me in the morning.
Hell yeah. When I get home, you feel me? But yeah, nah, I really just think we gotta stop making
Lying.
excuses we gotta stop making excuses for why we do what we do. Like, cause I mean, if we being honest, like, we complain about women making excuses and not being accountable, but for real, they really got that shit from us. So like, and even though we did it for a certain reason and now they're doing it for no real reason, it still came from us. A woman is an extension of a man. Man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so as a man, it's your job to lead. You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna lead, you definitely can't be doing things that are wrong, because at the end of the day, wrong is wrong, right is right. And you really want to set examples for not only the women but the children as well. So, and it's really more so the children than the women. So
Right.
everything that we're gonna talk about on this podcast, even though it's gonna be formatted in a way that's gonna be more so speaking about the differences between men and women, it all ties in to how we're raising our children. You know what I'm saying? And you know, shit, it was a post on Facebook earlier, and basically, it basically was covering, you know, like how women treat men, and these same women that treat men a certain way would tell their sons or their brothers, if they were being treated the same way that they treat men, they would tell their sons or their brothers to leave that girl.
Yeah, don't deal
You know
with
what
it.
I'm saying?
Don't go for that.
So it's like, you got to treat people the way that you would want your sons or your brothers or your sisters or daughters to be treated. You know what I'm saying? So we can't be saying it's okay for men to cheat because they're men and it's just fucking, but we wouldn't want our daughter to be cheated on. Now, if we had the mindset to say to our daughter, yeah, just let him cheat. He's bringing in the money. Who gives a fuck? And then you want to say, okay, men can cheat on women. I would understand it because you're not being hypocritical, but it's very hypocritical to say men can cheat and then say to your daughter, leave the nigga that cheated on you. You know what I'm saying? So we got to kind of straighten out what we're saying.
Everything.
Exactly. So we can't be lying about anything. Everything got to make sense. So if we're going to say a certain thing, everything that follows it needs to make sense. So
correct.
that's just where I'm kind of getting to in my life. Like,
Hey, I agree with that. That's some real shit. I agree with that, my boy. I agree. Strongly agree. I respect that.
yeah. So shit, we have reached the end of the stream. Boy, just gotta go to work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I gotta put them hours in, man. I don't need 6, man. Give me 10 hours, 12.
So we're gonna come back probably later on this week with guests. If you want to be a guest, just hit me up.
Well, hit me up.
We'll get you on. Yeah, just hit one of us up. Jizzle, share your IG in the chat.
I got you.
All right. So yeah, that's Jizzle shit. Go follow him. You know what I'm saying?
I got some crack coming this summer. Them visuals is coming out, man. The best music you ever heard in your life.
Oh, you gotta tell him you do music. Damn, that's what
Oh yeah, I do music. Full-time artist, man. Full-time independent artist. I'm on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, TikTok. Full-time artist, man. And my music is based upon my life. So whatever I go through, that's what I put in the music. And I have no filter, just like we do on this podcast. I'm gonna tell you how I feel. Exactly how I feel.
Hell yeah. So the boy Daniel, he does music too. His shit hard as fuck. I ain't even gonna lie. That shit hard as hell. He need to get.
Yeah, my boy, follow me. I'm gonna follow you right back.
But yeah, nigga Dan need to promote his music some more because this shit hard as fuck. Goddamn shit, bro. Actually, Dan, you need to come on the podcast next time. You know what I'm saying? Later on in this week, we will have a guest day. So, shit, you could be our first guest. You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna have another conversation. If you want to bring on another guest, you can, preferably a woman, because we need a woman's take as well. I do have a few females that want to join. Kiana's gonna join next time as well. She's gonna have a perspective that's gonna be somewhat in between the general man and woman perspective. So hers gonna be very interesting because she understands both sides. And then I have a couple other friends, but everybody works, so it's kind of it's a little difficult to get everybody together. But we're gonna make the shit happen. At some point, we're gonna have random people coming, and that's really when shit's gonna get interesting and viral, because we ain't gonna allow or tolerate no disrespect towards any guest that we know personally. But whenever we start having random people on, it'll be a little bit more loose and kind of have a few more moments. You know what I'm saying? But we don't want to be dividing the people that we already know. So
right.
Yeah, that's what we're working on. This nigga T will be here next time too, so that shit gonna be interesting as hell.
Most definitely.
But yeah, man, we signing off. Make sure that y'all subscribed and hit the like button. And peace.
Yeah. All right, y'all have a great day, man.